Look at these poor little boys. There's Wash and Jacob. They're both terribly upset because we lost their brother Pippin on Monday. It was just dreadful. I mean, we'd had him on the Vivatonin. He was having ups and downs. One day he was okay. The next day he was feeling dreadful, looking dreadful. And we just didn't know what to do, really. And, you know, it was just a horrible decision. But last weekend he started to get a respiratory infection, so we put Pippin onto antibiotics and Metacam. And unfortunately we decided on the Sunday that if he wasn't better by the next day, we were going to go to the vet and ask to have him put to sleep, because it was just getting unbearable watching him, and it had been nearly 3 weeks. And anyway, on the Monday morning we got up and he wasn't looking well, and I called the vet. My vet wasn't there, but we arranged to go and see him at his open clinic a bit later in the afternoon. And then a couple of hours later, Pippi really went downhill. He had terrible porphyrin from his nose and round his eyes. He couldn't lift his head. It was obviously something had gone really badly wrong in just an hour, really, basically over the course of an hour. So I don't know if he'd had another stroke or a bleed on his brain, but we went to the emergency vet. The emergency vet called our vet. They're at the same practice, and we all decided there's nothing else that could be done. So sadly, we had him put to sleep very humanely, where he was put to sleep with the anaesthetic gas first of all, as if he was having an operation, and then when he was deeply asleep they used the injection, and it was just heartbreaking. I've had 3 weeks of absolute stress and worry, absolute not knowing what was happening, hoping that this was the cure that we needed, because Pippin had had health worries for some time. But unfortunately it just didn't work out, and so sad after losing Sullivan, his brother, with a brain tumour at 9 months. It's just obvious that the genetics of these boys is very poor, and obviously we have Wash with the diabetes, we have 2 brothers with constant respiratory problems, and it is unlucky, it is terribly unlucky. But, you know, I'm glad that we have them, and we know that we're making sure they get the best possible care. But at the moment, Wash and Jacob are so sad that you can see how unhappy they are. We're having to give them lots of extra attention. The stress has caused Wash to be a bit more unstable with his diabetes, but hopefully we'll get that back under control and have an update on him soon. So just wanted to let you know what was happening and how terribly sad we are, and to thank you all for your support over the last few weeks. So very sadly, on the 14th of March, we had Pippin put to sleep because it was obvious he just wasn't getting better and he was terribly ill.